Welcome back to the Mike and Mark History Experience, the only podcast brave enough to ask the questions that get us demonetized. I'm Mike.
And I'm Mark. Today, we're tackling the big question. Why did ancient people think killing other humans for the gods was not just acceptable, but necessary?
Right. And before the Twitter mob descends, we're not endorsing human sacrifice. We're just saying if you were a Bronze Age farmer and the rain hadn't come in 6 months, you'd be eyeing your neighbour differently too.
Sorry, Todd, but your vibes have been off and the corn is dying. This is bigger than you.
Exactly. So here's the thesis. Human sacrifice wasn't crazy. It was logical. Terrifyingly blood-soaked logical.
It was the ultimate insurance policy, like AAA roadside assistance, but for cosmic forces.
Let's set the scene. You're living 3,000 years ago, no internet, no science, no weather apps. The sun comes up, you don't know why. Rain falls, total mystery. Your kid gets sick. Could be demons, could be angry gods, could be that you looked at a crow wrong last Tuesday.
Everything is vibes-based cosmology.
Exactly. And the fundamental belief underlying all of this is that the universe is not random, it's not chaos. There's an order to things, but that order requires maintenance.
Right? Like the gods are running the world's most high-maintenance simulation and they need regular feeding or the whole server crashes.
Perfect analogy. And what's the most valuable thing you can offer? Not corn, not gold, not a really nice pottery bowl.
A human life.
Bingo. Because nothing says we're serious about this relationship like literal life and death. The Aztecs understood this on a PhD level.
Oh, the Aztecs were the overachievers of human sacrifice. Like most civilizations are doing it occasionally for special events. The Aztecs are out here with a daily quota.
They believed the sun literally needed blood to rise each day. The sun god Huitzilopochtli was fighting his siblings every night in the cosmic darkness. And without human hearts and blood, he'd lose and the world would end.
So every morning when the sun came up, they're like, see, it worked. Keep it going.
It's unfalsifiable. Every time the sun rises, you've proven your theory correct.
This is the same logic behind every conspiracy theory and also why I still knock on wood. Like, I've been knocking on wood and nothing bad has happened, therefore wood knocking prevents bad things.
Post hoc ergo propter hoc for the Latin nerds in the audience.
But here's where it gets philosophically interesting, and this is going to sound weird. They might have been onto something about value.
Oh, here we go. Mark's about to defend human sacrifice.
No, hear me out. What makes something a real sacrifice? It has to cost you something. If I'm a billionaire and I donate $100, that's not a sacrifice. That's loose change.
Right.
But if you're giving up a human life, whether it's a captive warrior, a slave, or in some societies, your own child that costs, that's the most expensive thing you can give.
So the logic is bigger sacrifice equals bigger results. You want rain for your crops? Kill a chicken. You want to prevent the apocalypse? That's going to run you at least a few nobles.
It's economic thinking applied to theology. Supply and demand, but for divine favor.
And this is where we have to talk about the social function of human sacrifice, because it wasn't just about pleasing the gods.
Oh yeah, this is the dark part.
Human sacrifice was also about power. Who decides who gets sacrificed? Who performs the ritual? Who has the authority to speak for the gods?
The priests and the kings.
Exactly. In Aztec society, the priests who performed sacrifices were the most powerful people outside the royal family. They had a direct line to the divine.
It's like if your boss could fire you, but also your boss could throw you off a pyramid for the greater good, and everyone would thank him for doing it.
Sorry, Jenkins, but Q3 earnings are down and Tarlok demands blood. You understand.
And here's the thing, often the people being sacrificed accepted it. They believed in the system.
Right, this is crucial. When Spanish conquistadors showed up and saw Aztec sacrifice, they were horrified. But many of the victims went willingly, even proudly.
Because they believed their death had cosmic significance. They weren't just dying, they were saving the world.
You're not a murder victim, you're a hero. You're Thanos snapping yourself for the greater good.
I am inevitably going to feed the sun god.
And in some cultures, being chosen for sacrifice was an honor. The Inca Capacocha ceremony, they'd select the most beautiful, perfect children, treat them like royalty for months, then take them to a mountaintop and, yeah.
That's so dark. But from their perspective, those kids were becoming divine messengers. They were getting a first-class ticket to the afterlife.
Meanwhile, the kid with acne and bad teeth is like, thank the gods for this pimple.
Laughs. My crooked nose just saved my life.
But this brings us to a deeper philosophical point. These societies had a completely different understanding of death than we do.
Right? We're in a post-enlightenment, individualistic society. The individual life is sacred. It's the highest value.
But in ancient collective societies, the community was the highest value. The tribe, the city-state, the civilization, one person dying to save everyone else. That's basic math.
It's literally the trolley problem, except everyone agrees you should pull the lever.
And no one's standing around going, but what about the rights of the one person?
Because that concept doesn't exist yet. Rights are a modern invention. Back then, it's all about duties, obligations, cosmic balance.
Let's talk about that cosmic balance thing, because this is where it gets trippy. Many ancient religions believed the universe was fundamentally reciprocal.
Reciprocal. Explain.
The gods give to humans sunshine, rain, crops, babies, so humans have to give back. It's a transaction, a relationship.
Like a really intense gift-giving culture where if you don't reciprocate, the gods ghost you.
Exactly. And over time, the gifts have to get bigger to maintain the relationship. It's inflation, but for divine attention.
Sorry, the gods aren't accepting prayer anymore. We've upgraded to blood sacrifice. Please update your worship methods.
But seriously, this is why sacrifice escalates in times of crisis. Drought for 3 years. The previous sacrifices weren't enough. We need to go bigger.
It's the sunk cost fallacy applied to religion. We've already sacrificed 50 people. We can't stop now, or they died for nothing.
Oh man, that's dark but accurate.
Right, and here's where it connects to modern life in a weird way. We still do this. We don't call it sacrifice, but we absolutely trade lives for abstract concepts.
Ooh, careful. You're going to get us cancelled.
Think about it. We send soldiers to die for freedom or national security. We accept thousands of car deaths per year because we value convenience and mobility.
We let people die from preventable diseases because treating them costs too much.
We're still making the same calculation. X number of deaths is acceptable for Y benefit to society. We've just changed the framing.
Okay, but hold on. That's not the same thing at all.
What? Come on.
No, seriously. There's a huge difference between intentionally killing someone in a ritual versus people dying as an unintended consequence of policy decisions.
Is there though?
Yes, intent matters. The Aztecs were actively, purposefully cutting people's hearts out. We're not actively killing people. We're accepting risk, which every society has to do.
But if you know people will die and you do it anyway, how is that not intentional?
Because one is murder and the other is pauses, okay? It's a trolley problem, but it's different.
How?
Because we at least try to minimize deaths. We have safety regulations, traffic laws, medical ethics boards. The Aztecs were trying to maximize deaths for divine favor.
But we could make cars safer. We could have a 15 miles per hour speed limit. We'd save thousands of lives.
And destroy the entire economy.
Ah, there it is. We're sacrificing people for the economy. The economy is our sun god.
That's not okay. That's kind of fair, but it's still different. The Aztecs thought they had to kill people or the sun wouldn't rise. That's objectively false. We actually do need transportation infrastructure.
They thought the sun wouldn't rise. We think the economy will collapse. Both are beliefs about cosmic order that we can't prove.
We can absolutely prove the economy needs transportation. There's data.
And they had data too. Every time they did a sacrifice, the sun rose. Perfect correlation.
What? You're being deliberately obtuse.
I'm being consistent. You're trying to carve out an exception for modern society because it makes you uncomfortable to think we're doing the same thing.
We're not doing the same thing. Accepting risk is not the same as ritual murder.
The Aztecs were accepting risk too. The risk that if they didn't sacrifice people,
to them it
the world
was.
would end. That's the whole point of this episode. From inside their belief system, it was perfectly rational.
Right, but we're not inside their belief system. We're outside it. We can see they were wrong.
And in 500 years, people will be outside our belief system seeing we were wrong.
About what?
I don't know. That's the point. Maybe about capitalism, maybe about eating animals, maybe about how we treat AI, maybe about climate change. Whatever it is, they'll look back and say they knew the consequences and did it anyway.
Okay, and I'm really trying to engage with this in good faith. There's got to be a moral difference between killing someone yourself versus creating systems where people might die.
Why?
Because Because direct action is different than indirect consequences?
Is it? If I push you off a cliff, or if I see you about to fall off a cliff and don't help you, both ways you're dead because of my choice.
Those are not the same thing.
The Aztecs would agree with you, by the way. They'd say killing someone in sacrifice is noble and letting someone die of starvation is just negligence.
Okay, that's fair.
Look, I'm not saying we're exactly like the Aztecs. I'm saying the fundamental calculus trading lives for collective benefit is the same. We've just convinced ourselves it's different because we don't do it on pyramids.
But the intent matters and the knowledge matters. The Aztecs genuinely believed they were saving the world.
And we genuinely believe we're maintaining civilization.
But we're right.
So were they. From their perspective,
I hate that you might have a point.
the Aztecs were at least honest about it. We're killing people on purpose for the Sunday. We're like, people are dying, but it's a side effect of the economy, so it's fine.
We're not fine with it. We try to reduce it.
Do we though, or do we just do the bare minimum to feel okay about it?
This got way darker than I expected.
History is dark. But here's the thing, and this is what we need to understand from inside the system. It all makes perfect sense.
Yeah, okay.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, if you believe the sun needs blood to rise, then not sacrificing people is suicidal. It's reckless. It's irresponsible.
You'd be the crazy one for suggesting we stop.
Oh, so you want the world to end, Brad? You want eternal darkness? Selfish.
And this is why these practices persisted for centuries. They were self-reinforcing. Every time the sun rose, every time the rain came, every time your civilization didn't collapse, that was proof the sacrifices worked.
Confirmation bias on an industrial scale.
And any time something bad did happen, well, clearly you didn't sacrifice enough.
It's bulletproof logic if you accept the initial premise.
Which is why human sacrifice only ends when the fundamental belief system changes.
Right, you need either a new religion that says actually God doesn't want blood, or you need a scientific worldview that says actually the sun rises because of planetary rotation.
And even then, it takes centuries. The last recorded human sacrifice in India was in the early 20th century.
And some would argue that state executions, war, martyrdom, these are just repackaged versions of the same impulse.
The sacred violence thing doesn't go away. It just gets rebranded.
So what's the takeaway here? Human sacrifice made sense because
if you believe the universe operates on reciprocal exchange with conscious deities who require blood to function, then not sacrificing people would be insane.
it's rational within an irrational framework.
And that should terrify us because it means humans are capable of normalizing absolutely anything if the belief system is strong enough.
We're not smarter than the Aztecs. We just have different unprovable beliefs that we take for granted.
In 500 years, people might look at us the way we look at them. They knew about climate change and just kept doing it. They knew factory farming caused suffering and just kept eating.
They had nuclear weapons and trusted politicians with them.
Okay, that's fair.
The point is, every society has its sacred cows sometimes, literally, and its blind spots. The things that are so obviously true that questioning them makes you sound crazy.
And human sacrifice was one of those things for thousands of years of human history.
It was just what you did, like going to church or paying taxes.
Hey, honey, don't forget, it's sacrifice day tomorrow. Did you pick up your good ceremonial knife from the cleaners?
And we're bringing a dish to the post-sacrifice potluck.
But here's my final thought on this, and then we should wrap up because this has gotten heavy.
Hit me.
The capacity for this kind of thinking is still in us. All of us. We're the same species that built the pyramids and the temples and performed these rituals.
Same brains, same capacity for both incredible compassion and systematic cruelty, depending on what we believe.
Which means the best defense against becoming the kind of people who'd sacrifice humans is to constantly question our own certainties.
To stay skeptical of any ideology that demands blood, literal or metaphorical, for the greater good.
Right? Because every villain thinks they're doing the right thing. Thanos genuinely believed killing half the universe was mercy. The Aztec priests genuinely believed they were saving the world.
And both could point to results that seem to prove them right. Look, we have more resources now. Look, the sun rose again.
That's what makes it so scary. The road to the altar is paved with good intentions and perfect internal logic.
Ooh, that's a good line.
Thank you. I'll be here all week, assuming I'm not sacrificed for ratings.
All right, that's our time. To summarize, human sacrifice made sense because ancient people lived in a universe of reciprocal exchange with demanding gods, where the most valuable offering was human life, and the system was self-reinforcing through confirmation bias.
And also because humans can rationalize literally anything if the social pressure and belief system is strong enough.
Which is a fun thing to think about as you go about your day.
Really puts your morning commute in perspective.
Thanks for listening to the Mike and Mark History Experience. I'm Mike.
And I'm Mark. Remember, question everything, even the things everyone agrees on.
Especially those things.
Next week, we're talking about why medieval peasants worked fewer hours than you do and were probably happier.
That'll be fun and not at all depressing.
Until then, stay skeptical.
And stay alive.